One day the gods on Mount Olympus looked down upon the earth and declared that the vast land of Canada needed more Olympic medals. So Zeus sent his daughter Aphrodite to Canada to seek out a worthy mortal Olympian. She found Paul McLaughlin racing in his 14-foot dinghy in Toronto Bay. To leeward was another dinghy helmed by a woman named Mary. Aphrodite then caused Mary to luff Paul. Mary luffed and Paul responded, for he knew his rules. Soon after, Paul wedded the fair Mary. Then one summer day, after winning yet another race in Toronto Bay, Mary went into labor. The next morning, Mary delivered unto the world a son, whom she and Paul named Terry. And the gods gave Terry 3 gifts. Dear Olympians and fellow mortals, Terry's victories in sailing are the stuff of legend. Captain of the Queen's University sailing team and All-American Intercollegiate Sailor. Skipper of Canada 1 in the 1983 Louis Vuitton America's Cup Challenge. 2 times winner of the New York Yacht Club Rolex Invitational. Silver medalist in the 2015 Pan Am Games. World champion with Everett Bastet in the Flying Dutchman in 1980. And then, after being robbed of his golden opportunity due to the Olympic boycott, Terry fulfilled his destiny by winning a silver medal with Everett in 1984. Going back to Terry's birth, did I mention that the gods gave him 3 gifts? I don't think I did, but they did. They gave him 3 gifts. And what were those gifts? Well, the first of these is sexiness. Some of you may find this surprising, but in the September 1986 edition of Chatelaine, Canada's leading magazine for women, Terry was anointed one of the 10 sexiest men in Canada, right up there with Pierre Elliott Trudeau,
Paul Henderson,
Michael J. Fox, and yes, Paul Henderson. The second gift is superstition. Terry's lucky number is 17. He's had it on his FD, his International 14, Ideal 18, and all of his hockey sweaters. Every boat he sailed in the New York Yacht Club Invitational had 17 on its bow, stuck there with clear tape. Shackles must go starboard to port. And when he and his crew have a winning day, Terry insists that the next day they wear the exact same clothes. Same hats, same shirts, same pants, same boots, even the same underwear. 1 month ago, after 3 consecutive days of sailing in sweltering heat and undefeated in every race, Terry and Team Defiant won the Canada's Cup. Just imagine what he and the crew smelled like at prize giving. The third gift is superhuman smarts. Anyone who has sailed with or against Terry knows that he is super smart on the race course, a master of rules and tactics. I saw this firsthand when I was one of Terry's teammates at the International 14 Team Racing Worlds in 1985. Terry was our captain. Our arch rival, Team UK. In a tightly fought battle, we won, defeating the Brits due to stealth tactics on the water and Terry's persuasiveness in the protest room. At the prize giving, the team wanted to show our appreciation for our captain and how he made us feel. So, with Terry looking on, the rest of the team, the Kidd brothers, Jay Cross, Rod McIver, Martin Tenhope, John Bleasby, and yours truly, paraded in wearing dunce caps. Terry, that was just in good fun. Each of us, myself included, loved every minute of that incredibly intense summer. Thanks for being my captain. Hall of Famers and fellow sailors, it is with great pleasure for me to induct into the Canadian Sailing Hall of Fame the super smart, superstitious, and still sexy Terry McLaughlin. For you.
Well, how do I top that? I'll put this on briefly.
Stand in the corner.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. That was a wonderful introduction and induction. Yes, number 17 has been my number. Ever since the Zimmerman family and the McLaughlin family bought KC-17 Flying Dutchman from Hans Fogg. I think we had, I can't remember, Hans was selling two boats at the time, KC-17 and KC-18, and I can't remember why we chose 17. The Harvey brothers bought KC-18, and the 17 has been my number, and often my kids' numbers ever since. Now, yesterday I was sailing in the Champion of Champions at RCYC in Ideal 18s, and we had to draw boats out of a hat. And I was the second one to pick, and before I stuck my hand in the hat, I think Martha Henderson, who was holding the hat, said, "Oh, you're probably going to pick number 17. And what did I do? I picked number 17. Anyhow, I like John Eccles, wasn't really prepared, but I made some notes over there. My first Olympic experience, I don't know if Dave and John remember, but I've reminded Dave the odd time I see him, but my first Olympic experience was 1972 when I was there as a kid after the Youth World Championships in Travemünde, and we were all us young sailors who would come to Kiel to watch the Olympics were assigned some tasks in the morning. So my task, and I can't remember if I had help or not, but I don't think I did. My task was to get up very early for a 15, 16-year-old, hop in the water in the Baltic and wash the bottom of Dave Miller's Soling every morning, which I did faithfully for most of the days until one day I was doing it and I stuck my foot in a jellyfish and I said, hell, the boat's clean enough. And they won a bronze medal, so hopefully it was okay. I was born into a sailing family, as a lot of you know, and as Karen mentioned, my father was a two-time Olympian, very good 14 sailor. My mother, Mary, was a very good 14 sailor, very competitive. So I grew up on Toronto Island in the summers at least, and just had the opportunity to go sailing. My three sisters all were sailors, before me in the junior club and went on. One of my sisters is here. The other two, I think, are quite sure are watching on YouTube. And of course, my brother followed up with a good, very good sailing and Olympic career. So I was given the opportunity. No one pushed me into sailing, but I was given the opportunity. We had a wooden pram with an old cut-down 14 sail on it that we could go out and sail in the lagoon, or if we were good enough, tack out through the little cut to get out to the harbor. So I was just given the opportunity at a young age, and I enjoyed it. I'd like to thank a few people, certainly from I've had a lot of help, coaching and managers and so forth, certainly from the national team. My two national coaches were Steve Tupper and Pat Healy. who sort of guided us along. On the Flying Dutchman side, we had some coach managers that followed us around the world and did a lot of things for us. You know, not the least of, you know, going out in a rubber duck, small rubber duck in bad weather. But the first quadrennial, that was Bob Whitehouse, and the second quadrennial was Hugh Drake, who put a lot of time in to help us. I've had a lot of great crew over the years. I mean, some people think that my crew are either deaf or dumb because of the reputation I have, but they were neither. And I'm still sailing these days, including yesterday with guys I sailed with in the early 80s in Canada 1. Unfortunately, Everett Bastet couldn't make it today, but he was certainly the person I sailed with the most in both Flying Dutchmans and star boats. I don't think too many teams go from a Flying Dutchman to a star crew. I think we're maybe a little on the heavy side in the Flying Dutchman and certainly on the light side in the star, but we had some pretty good results in both. It might be dangerous to say in a room full of this talent, but in my opinion, Everett, if he's not the best crew member that in a sailboat that Canada's ever produced, he's very close to it. I think the Fogg family would agree. I've got lots of friends in this room. I haven't had a chance to talk to some people yet. Hopefully we'll hang around and maybe have a beer downstairs afterwards. But looking around the room, I realize how many friends you make. I know I've been into some situations with some of these people in Kiel, Germany, and various places in the world where, you know, if you did what we used to do, you'd be in real trouble these days. But we all seem to get away with it. I don't think any of us missed any races because of being chased by police, and as Jerry Roos stole the glass boot in Kiel. But sailing has obviously been a big part of my life, and to sum it up, actually, one thing I should mention is I did meet my lovely wife, Nikki, at a Flying Dutchman regatta in Spain, because her uncle was the Dutch measurer of the class. So sailing has been good to me, and as Chico Escuela, our sportscasting friend from SNL, used to say, sailing has been very, very good for me. Thank you.